Hi guys, it's Morgan from the Treasure Trove and welcome back. Today is going to be kind of a special video because recently it just passed my 3rd YouTube anniversary, which is crazy. I can't believe I've been doing this for 3 years. And actually, like, the start of my YouTube channel, I started it right around when I opened my store. So it's crazy, like, I have all these 3-year things happening at the same time. So I thought that I would do a tag video just so you guys can get to know me a little bit better. I don't really get too personal on my channel. I normally just talk about like makeup and stuff like that. I don't really talk about myself, and I'm going to apologize already because I get really awkward when I talk about myself, so I'm sorry if this video is super awkward, but I decided to do the my first time tag, which it's not as dirty as it sounds, I promise. So let's get right into the questions because there's 24 of them and I'm very long-winded and I tend to like ramble a bit, so let's do this. Question number 1 is, what was your first tweet? And I got my Twitter back in 2010, so there is like no way that I remember what my first tweet was. I think my first tweet was about a Target bikini that I had gotten on sale for like $3, and this was back when I didn't have a smartphone, so I used to text Twitter to tweet from like when I was out, and I used to think that that was so fun, like texting someone to tweet. I don't know, it's super lame. Question number 2 is, what was your first YouTube video? My first YouTube video was an introduction to this channel, which was super awkward. I like made a script for it and everything. You can go watch it. It's like super embarrassing. I filmed it on a point and shoot camera. That video quality was so terrible. The sound quality was so terrible, and I was so stiff, like even weirder than I am in front of the camera now. So who was the first person you subscribed to on YouTube? I don't know. Like, I've been watching YouTube since its inception, really, and I didn't used to subscribe to people. I just used to like check their channels, so I don't even remember who the first person I was that I subscribed to. I think it was Mary from A Love Tart. She makes like really awesome makeup videos. She still makes them. I'll link her channel. She's awesome. I love her. What was your first Facebook profile picture? Oh man, it was like super embarrassing. It was like back in, here I'll bring it up, it was like back in 2007, and I was just starting college, and I had this really embarrassing photo of myself like looking up at this giant window where my college was. Here, I'll show you all. See how embarrassing that is? It was like this atrium, and it took me like 8,000 times to get this picture right. I had like an envy, and I thought that the camera on it was just like the greatest thing ever, so I used to take like 8,000 pictures of myself. But that was my first Facebook profile picture. Super embarrassing. Me at 18 years old being a dumb teenager. Number 5, do you still talk to your first love? And absolutely, I do not know. What was my first alcoholic drink? I'm gonna preface this, underage drinking, don't do it. It's bad. But when I was 15, my friend, she snuck over 2 giant bottles of Smirnoff Ice, which is disgusting, and we watched it, or we drank it while we watched the movie 13, which is ironically a movie about a girl who underage drank and did drugs and her life spiraled out of control, so that's kind of funny, but that was my first alcoholic drink. Number 7, what was your first job? My first job was working at Burlington Coat Factory, which was terrible. It was like I quit like after a month because I just couldn't stand it so much. What was your first car? My first car was this super cute little Hyundai Accent hatchback. It was white and I loved it. The air conditioning would leak, it wouldn't shift correctly, it had all these problems, but I still loved it, and then I got rid of it because the whole thing just stopped working. Number 9, who was the first person to text you today? Not a lot of people text me. I'm not a very big texting person, so I don't really know. Oh, it was my friend Justin, Lane Zero, who is a Twitch streamer. yeah, he texted me that he was getting Korean food and I got really jealous. So, number 10, who is the first person you thought of this morning? Wow, since I sleep in the same bed as Brian and he woke up to a bloody nose this morning, which I felt really terrible about, he was the first person I thought of this morning. Number 11, who was your first grade teacher? My first grade teacher was Miss Rathel. She was amazing. She used to have us make these little books, and I still have them, and she would like make them, we could write a story and we'd draw a picture and then she'd like bind them for us, and I have a bunch of them, and she was one of my favorite teachers forever. Even though I was only 6, she left an imprint in my heart forever. She was a great teacher. Number 12, where did you go on your first ride on an airplane? Well, when I was 6, my parents and I went to Disney World, so my first plane ride was to Florida, but the first plane ride that I took that I can remember was back in 2013 when I went to Mexico with Brian. Number 13, who is your first best friend and do you still talk? I don't really remember who my first best friend was, I guess. I don't still talk to them if I can't even remember who they were, but one of my first best friends is still my best friend today and I still talk to her. Number 14, where was your first sleepover? Oh god, I don't even remember. I'm sure it was somewhere where I called my mom and had her come pick me up because I hated sleeping over at people's houses. I would get like really anxious and nervous and couldn't sleep, and the girls that I tended to hang out with were like really rowdy and did like really dumb things that normally would result in someone getting hurt or someone having Sharpie on their face or something like that, and it just freaked me out. Like, I did not want that to happen to me, so I used to call my mom like crying and have her come pick me up. So I probably, I don't know, probably my house. My first sleepover was probably at my house where I actually slept and had my friends come over because I didn't like sleeping over at other people's houses. Number 15, what was the first thing you did this morning? Well, if we're not talking about brushing your teeth and peeing like normal people, the first thing I did was make coffee because I will murder someone if I don't drink coffee in the morning. Number 16, what was the first concert you ever went to? The first concert I ever went to was the 2004 Vans Warped Tour, and the first band that I saw play was Yellowcard. I will always remember that. It will always be imprinted in my brain, and I had this little button that said potty mouth that I loved, that I had on my Yellowcard patch on my jeans, and it got stuck on some girl in the crowd and we got stuck together and we couldn't like rip ourselves apart, and I ended up losing the button forever from that. So I'll always, I can't ever forget that. It's just a memory that is imprinted in my brain for life. Number 17, what was your first broken bone? Now my first and only broken bone was when I was 4 going on 5 or 5 going on 6. I don't know, something like that. I shattered my elbow here, and you can still see the scar from where I had to have pins in my arm to hold it together. My mom had one of those like lounge chairs, you know, where you can move the back part up and down, and me and my next door neighbor, we were best friends. Oh, he was my first best friend. I can't believe I forgot him. He was my first best friend, and we still talk occasionally. I mean, his family still lives next door to my family, so we'll say hi to each other when we see each other, but we're not close or anything. But anyway, I always would like convince him to do things that he never wanted to do. I was the rowdy one. I was like the tomboy climbing trees, going places that I shouldn't, climbing on rocks and doing stupid stuff. So I decided that it was a really good idea to jump off the back of this lounge chair because it was at this angle where you could run up and jump off, and we were little kids, so it was like the perfect thing. And I decided that it would be a great idea, so I convinced him to do it even though he didn't want to do it. And when I did it, it ended up falling flat, like going super flat. So I fell weird, and I fell really hard like this on my arm, and I completely snapped my elbow, and he freaked out and he ran and he knocked on the door and ran away before my mom even came out. He was like too ashamed, and I was screaming and crying and whatever, and So that was my only broken bone that I had, but it's a pretty funny story. I guess I got like all my wildness out when I was a kid because I'm like the most boring grandma ever now. Number 18, what was your first piercing? And zero piercing. I have zero piercing, so no piercing was my first piercing. I don't even have my ears pierced. I'm a weirdo, I know. Number 19, what was the first foreign country you've ever gone to? Now, because I live so close to Canada, Canada was the first foreign country that I ever went to, but I don't really count that because, like, if I wanted to right now, I could be in Canada in like 45 minutes. That's how close we are. So, the first foreign country that I ever went to was Mexico, and it's the only one that I've ever been to, unfortunately. Number 20, what was the first movie that you remember seeing? The first movie I really remember seeing in the theater concretely was The Lion King in '95. My parents had tried so hard to take us. I remember going through this task of trying to see the movie because it was sold out everywhere. Like, all these showings were sold out of it, and then I finally remember seeing it, and I remember the only part I remember like actually being in the theater for was obviously the stampede scene. It scarred me for life as a child. Number 21, what was your first detention? My first detention was when I was a senior in high school, and it was because I had skipped gym so many times. I was sick in high school and I didn't go to school a lot, and the smell of the locker room made me really sick, so I would just skip gym all the time without telling anyone and just sit, and because I had so many gym absences, they gave me detention. Oh, I'm such a rebel. I'm just a rebel. Number 22, who was your first roommate? My first and only roommate has been Brian. I moved in with him when I was 19, and we've been living in this apartment for 7 years. He is my only roommate that I've ever had, and I hope that he's my only roommate forever because I love him. Number 23, what is the first thing you do when you get home? The first thing I do when I get home, besides take off my shoes and kiss my kitties and Brian, is change into comfy clothes, because as much as I love clothes and dressing up and wearing all these elaborate outfits, my number one favorite thing to do is get into comfy clothes and sit on the couch. Number 24, and the last question is, when was your first kiss? My first kiss was when I was 14. And my best friend, I have to tell this story because she loves the story and I love it too. She set it up when I was 14. We were at our friend's birthday party. We're with this group of guys that we all like, each liked a different guy. We were 14 and giggly girls, of course. And she knew that I hadn't had my first kiss yet, you know, because she was my best friend. So, or is, I guess. So she dared this guy to kiss me that I liked, and it was perfect. It was like a little chat, little kiss. It was perfect. And I'll never regret it. It was amazing, and it's a good memory. Yeah. I hope this video wasn't too lame and wasn't like a cop-out for a third YouTube anniversary. Thank you if you're watching this. And thank you if you've been watching my videos. Thank you for sticking by me for 3 years. I love making videos and I'm trying to get back into it. I do it for fun and for no other reason. So for a while it stopped becoming fun for me. So now that I'm back into it, I'm ready to make videos and hope you guys enjoyed it. So thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want, and remember, stay cheap and lazy.